politicizing gender, politicizing relationships. Can't just talk about loneliness, which is something that Paul has talked about previously. But this one, he just has to. He just has to. He can't help himself. He's got some. He's got impulse issues. We might fast forward or cut this up here. It's a 21 minute clip, and we cut it down. It was from a 30-minute almost. This guy was talking. This wasn't part of his nightly stream. It's his daily updates that he does. So let's just play this.
Oh, and man, does this video make me sad. I feel really bad for this woman. I hope and wish for her the best. I hope she finds friends. It's tough out there. It really is. But someone commented on this video where she
I guess I need girls to rally with me and lift me up because I feel so defeated right now. I've been trying to meet someone, just anybody worth my time for years. And dating apps are so awful. I don't need to explain to you how awful the dating apps are. So I've been trying to meet people in public, and they're still trash when I do randomly meet people in public. But
she is correct. I also want to stress, again, none of this is her fault. I don't see this as a woman who's... I mean, maybe she is. But I'm saying right now in this video, in this context, she's not coming out and cheering for the system as it is. She's trying to meet people, and she says they're trash. She's not wrong. How many guys are like, I don't want to settle down. I don't want to get married. I don't want to commit to you. I don't want to build a life. Don't tie me down. And I don't blame those guys either. The system is set up as such that guys are worried. It's like, if I get together with you and you change your mind, I get destroyed. How many movies, how many TV shows, how many documentaries, how many real-life exposés, how many stories have guys heard of marriages failing and the guy getting destroyed by it? They're terrified. Now, of course, there are a lot of guys, more conservative guys, who are going to say, why don't, be a man. The risk is a part of growing up, and these things happen, and find a good... Look, man, in these cities, in these blue areas, in places like Miami, hey, shout out to all the red pillars down in Miami. I get why they view the world the way they do. Because it's like, dude, these women are not the kind of women you can trust to be in a relationship with. Now, I don't know about this lady, but she's suffering because of it, because she's going to go meet a guy, and he's going to be like, my dream is to have a family, settle down, and buy a house with white picket fences and get a little dog named Scruffy. And, ma'am, I just don't know that I can trust you. Have a nice day. And then she's like, what the... Let's play some of the story.
Tonight takes the cake. Last week, I was like, I'm part of an app that you can basically get invited to these events. And there was a comedy thing coming up, and I bought a ticket, thought, maybe I'll meet people here. Maybe I'll meet a guy, or just meet people in general that I could become friends with, and then, who knows what could happen. And let me just tell you how this went. I show up, it said limited seating, get there first, it was like an open bar, and in my head, I show up, it said limited seating, get there first, it was like an open bar, and in my head, I'm a prompt person, so I got there 20 minutes beforehand, and I happened to be the first person there. Okay, kind of weird, but okay. They tell me, since it's an intimate thing, try to sit in the front row because it's going to be hard to get people squishing through there, and it's a sold out show. Okay, that's fine. I sit in the front row, and it's about showtime, and I'm realizing nobody else is in the front row. It's just me. Everybody's filled in the back, every row's filled with all the couples, of course, and then it's just me.
She looks very pretty.
I guess people, some people of course, some people are going to drop out and not show up, but the host of the show comes up to me really quickly and mouths thank you for sitting in the front row, and she proceeds to go up onto the stage and pointed out had everyone clap for me for being brave enough to sit in the front row, and like that was fine. Like I get it. Like, you know, people are afraid to sit in the front row, and
So basically, she goes on for another like 2 minutes just explaining this front row scenario. So I'm going to skip ahead a little bit.
Like some gift card or something, and like this is all in front of everybody, and I just like, I know nobody's sitting there like, oh my god, look at this girl, but like it's just it feels like such a slap in the face. And I'm not even mad at the comics, I'm not even mad at the lady. Like I would probably think the same thing, but like
they're basically saying like, good for you for coming here alone and sitting in the front row by yourself.
Just for this point in my life, like it just feels
snarky.
like,
now he's going snarky.
Brutal.
Like I don't want to go out again. I'm tired of it. I'm over it. I'm sick of it. When I try, like shit like this happens, and dating apps suck. And then I get into an Uber on the way home because I can't go have a drink like I wanted to because I have this giant fucking bag full of shit to carry around. And I get in this Uber and it's this 75-year-old woman with her dogs. And she won't stop talking about her dogs and like how she got an oil change and what'd you do
that's
tonight?
a whole
Was the
separate
comedy
thing
show
that
good?
Tim
And
should
like I'm
be
being nice and
reacting
polite,
to.
but all I can think about is like
Pay attention.
this is gonna be me. Like, and I know that's a worst case scenario. And it's not even like that's a terrible thing to be single all your life, but like,
Yes, it is.
I just can't help but feel like I'm gonna turn into this because I'm never gonna meet someone. And for everybody who's gonna tell me it'll come along when you least expect it,
No, won't.
I've
She
been
gives
hearing
the
that
finger.
for like 7 years. Okay, I'm so sick of hearing that. There's such a thing as people that just don't find their person and don't get married. So like I'm a realist, and the realist in me is starting to think like that's gonna be me, and I'm depressed now over it.
I feel really bad for this lady, man. I really do. I don't wish her any ill will. I don't mean to belittle her struggles and her trauma or anything like that.
He's just covering his ass.
I just got to say, like, welcome to modern society. This could never happen 200 years ago. I mean, like, of course it did. There are circumstances where women became hags or whatever. I mean, in a literal sense, not like an insult. Like, old unmarried women
insult.
just...
Yeah,
but it's
yeah,
rare.
Sure.
Women were so dramatically important. How does this end up? Now, I've got a question for you. And for feminists, and even for this young lady. Well, I say young lady, but she's 33. She is an adult woman.
No.
Nearing
When you're
middle
36.
age.
No, shut up, Tim.
Would you?
No. He said that she's middle age. No. When you're 36, when you have more of your life as an adult than it is you're a child. I just hit that mark last year. And of course, I love how the right likes to make people more older than they are. And you just I don't get that with them, but yet they're worried. Pearl.
Be happier in a polygamous society. I mean that in the literal. It's an actual question. Would you be willing to? Would you be satisfied with like a nobleman?
God, can
you mean that
filter
figuratively,
yourself?
like a wealthy businessman or man of political importance who's got 10 wives and you are one of them? Would that be better than being alone? Honest question. I'm not saying I know the answer. Seriously. I mean that literally. Comment below. Let me know what you think. Would people like this be happier? I think about what society would have been like 100 years ago for this woman. She'd have gotten married at probably 18 or 19. She would, I mean, even in the 50s, she'd have a family and a house. But here's the funny thing. I wonder, would she be happier then? Maybe. As the saying goes, you don't know what you got till it's gone. They paved paradise to put up a parking lot. But humans live in a state of relative happiness.
Santana?
That means that even
Carl
today,
Santana?
as incredible as everything is, people are going to be upset. And don't get me wrong, coming from the highs of the Trump economy to the lows now, it's kind of like, I get it. Your cheeseburgers cost $5. I'm looking at the inflation charts for the average prices of McDonald's food. And you got these people being like, we'll stop comparing the highest, most expensive markets to the lowest. And it's like, dude, there's a chart showing the average price of all McDonald's. and it's gone from like $1 for a cheeseburger to $4. I said $5, but I'm being hyperbolic. It's $3.89 or something with taxes.
Yeah,
you're
he pronounced it better than Tate boy.
So yeah, I mean, I understand why people are getting upset, but I'd just be willing to bet that a lot of people like this, if it was the 50s, they'd be like, I'm so unhappy because my husband does this and does that. And they don't know what you got till it's gone. I'd be willing to bet. You ask this lady, would you be willing to be a stay-at-home wife? No career. Your husband's in charge of the finances outside the home. You're in charge of things inside the home. Would that be acceptable to you? You'll have kids. You'll have a family. You'll have community. I'd imagine at this point she'd say yes. You know, I think the challenge for this woman is feminism in every facet. Telling guys to not be masculine. Telling women to be girl bosses. And I'll tell you what the end result is. I'm not saying feminism in general is wrong or anything like that.
In general.
I'm saying that the end result in large numbers results in things like this. So what do you get? Like, I want to, be with someone. I suppose the challenge is for any guy who's got money, has succeeded, is strong, they're targeting 22-year-olds. That's what the data shows us. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm not saying it's right. I know feminists, they get all angry when I say it, but that's what the data shows. The data shows that guys are choosing 22-year-olds. That's like the principal number. It really is. You take a look at guys right now, and I want to rag on guys too, because I got to tell you, I don't know much about this lady. I do want to say where there's smoke, there's fire, and if as the saying goes, if you smell crap everywhere, check your boot. We see this video of this lady, and she's crying, being like, "Why can't I find a relationship?" For all we know, like, she smells horrible, and as soon as the camera turns off, she just starts farting a whole bunch. Who knows, right? I'm not saying she does. But I'm not going to just sit here and say that she's perfect either. She's 33 and single, and she's a woman.
Okay, he is going down there. He feels bad, and he starts trash talking. This is passive aggressive 101. Good God, the right wing just can't keep their stuff together, right? They just have to. They have to go.
Man, does this video make me sad. I feel really bad for this woman. I hope and wish for her the best. I hope she finds friends. It's tough out there. It really is. But someone commented on this video where she cries and tells this story about how she was humiliated at a comedy show, not